Good day, my name is Melindi Dean and I'm a legal advisor at the SEESA Consumer Protection and POPI Department.
Good day, my name is Damian Bothma. I'm also a legal advisor at SEESA's Consumer and POPI Department. And today we'll be talking about consumers entering into online transactions and the rights they have.
So Damian, when I buy a product online, do I have any legal rights as a consumer?
Yes, definitely. As a consumer, the Electronic Communication Transaction Act as well as the Consumer Protection Act make provision for certain rights which a consumer has.
So we've all been in a situation where we've purchased a product online and upon receiving this product we weren't happy or we were unsatisfied or the product wasn't what we expected it to be. What are my rights in terms of returning such a product?
The Electronic Communication Transaction Act makes provision for a 7 calendar day cooling off period should it be from date of delivery or from date of the online transaction. However, there are certain exceptions which doesn't grant the consumer the right to a cooling off period.
If I as the consumer return the product then to the supplier, are there any costs involved for me as the consumer?
No, definitely not. The supplier may not impose any penalty or charge. The only charge which the supplier can ask the consumer is the cost, the direct cost of returning this product to the supplier.
Okay, so except for the Electronic Communications and Transactions Act, namely the ECTA Act, are there any other instances except for the cooling off period when I can return this product?
Yes, there are definitely. The Consumer Act makes provision for Section 55. Now this section sets out the requirements of a product. For an example, the product shouldn't be defective. So there should be no material defect. The product should be fit for the purpose for which it is intended to be used. The product should be usable and durable for a specific period of time. So when receiving a product via an online transaction and there is a material defect, then this product doesn't comply with Section 55's requirements. Now Section 56 kicks in, whereby Section 56 grants the consumer an implied 6-month warranty. So if there is a material defect to the product, after receiving it via an online transaction, the product may be returned within that 6-month period.
Okay, so who will be liable in such an instance? Should the consumer suffer any harm, or should the product have a defect or a material failure, or if it should be hazardous to a consumer?
Well, the Consumer Act in terms of Section 61, firstly, damages may be illness, or it may be financial harm, or it may be the death of someone. So Section 61 puts it in perspective, saying that anyone in the supply chain can be held liable for damages caused to the consumer. That may be the online retailer, the importer, the distributor, the wholesaler. So anyone in the supply chain can be held liable for harm caused to the consumer.
And what about a situation where I buy a product in person and not online? What would be applicable then for me to return the product?
Well, then we'll be looking at the Consumer Act. Now, the first misconception is that clients tend to think that if they've got a change of heart regarding a pair of shoes they've bought, or they don't like the t-shirt anymore getting at home, clients tend to think that they can simply return the product. Now, that is a misconception. The Consumer Act only makes provision for a 5 business day cooling off period to return the products from date of purchase, but that is only in the instance where direct marketing has taken place and the marketing is a reason for the conclusion of the transaction. So in essence, that means if the supplier approached the consumer, inviting them to purchase this product, and the transaction has taken place because of the direct marketing, then there's a 5-day cooling off period afforded by the Consumer Act.
Of which the consumer can then cancel the contract?
Definitely, yeah.
Or return the product?
Yeah, return the product within that 5-day cooling off period.
Okay, that's very informative. So basically, companies should therefore really review their terms and conditions as well as their return policy.
Yeah, that's why we do invite our listeners to get in touch with SEESA so that we can assist them in reviewing their terms and conditions in line with the Consumer Protection Act, as well as to highlight their risks.
Thank you very much, Damian. That's all we have time for today. Should you require any more information, please feel free to visit our website.